Have you ever woken up feeling completely depressed, like just getting out of bed felt impossible? I've always called this feeling morning depression, but what I didn't realize is that morning depression is an actual thing. Today I'm talking about morning depression, what it is, what causes it, and how to wake up happier. I'm Patty, I'm the girl with blue energy. I make videos about mental health and personal growth. So what is morning depression? Morning depression is also called diurnal depression, which means daytime as opposed to nighttime. People who experience morning depression have really significant depression in the morning that eases up throughout the day. Some people with morning depression who have general major depression may feel depression throughout their day and just experience more significant depression in the morning, whereas other people like me will often feel really depressed in the morning, and then within a few hours, it more or less goes away. Today, I'm going to discuss what causes this and some ways to feel happier in the morning. This is what our typical circadian rhythm looks like. As we get ready to sleep, our body begins secreting melatonin to help us fall asleep. Melatonin continues to rise throughout the night while our body temperature gradually decreases. In the middle of the night, around 2 or 3 a.m., melatonin begins to drop and cortisol levels start to rise. These cortisol levels rise to help us to wake up in the morning. About 30 to 45 minutes after we wake up, we experience a surge of cortisol called the cortisol awakening response, and this is what we think may cause morning depression. Everyone experiences this surge of cortisol in the morning. It's part of our circadian rhythm that helps us wake up. But some people have disruptions in this rhythm, and they may produce too much cortisol or a little too low cortisol. So this can either cause you to feel anxious, irritable, and depressed, or it can make you feel foggy, unmotivated, and depressed. It can also cause people to feel panic or a sense of dread in the morning. All of this is believed to be from this rise in cortisol that happens about 30 to 45 minutes after we wake up. This cortisol level goes back to normal in about an hour or so after it surges. So this is why people will experience some serious, significant depression, but once they get going, that depression tends to go away. Another reason people experience depression in the morning is because of inflammation. I've talked about the link between inflammation and bipolar disorder and depression before in other videos. They've had a lot of research that suggests inflammation is related to depression. So for some people, they've noticed an increase in a marker called interleukin 6, which is an inflammation marker, and those levels may be higher in the morning. So it's believed that this increase in these inflammation markers may also contribute to depression in the morning. If you're experiencing inflammation from chronic pain or other conditions, this is something you might want to talk to your doctor about. There are some things you can do with your diet or even possibly medication that can help with the inflammation and therefore hopefully help with the morning depression. Another reason people can have morning depression is because of disruptions in their sleep. So I've talked about sleep in quite a few of my videos because having a good sleep routine is very important for bipolar disorder as it affects our circadian rhythm, which we're very sensitive to and can cause us to have more mood swings, both hypomania and mania and depression. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you're having poor sleep, or you're doing shift work, this can certainly contribute to having morning depression. Now that you know the science behind why we get depressed in the morning, what can you do about it? Well, there's a few things we can do to feel better in the morning. Some of them are common sense and no-brainers, stuff I've mentioned before. But the first thing you can do is get a consistent sleep schedule going. So if you're going to bed at 2 in the morning and waking up at 6, of course you're going to wake up tired and depressed. The first thing you want to work on is having a consistent sleep schedule. This will not just help with depression. If you have bipolar disorder, it will help with your mood swings altogether, and it's very important. The second thing you can do is, if you have issues with inflammation, is to work on your inflammation. You may need to talk to your doctor about this, but there's some things you can do all on your own, like work on eating an anti-inflammatory diet, exercising more, and reducing your stress. Third, you want to have a morning routine. And this doesn't have to be complicated. It can just be 3 things you do in the morning. For me, that's I make my bed, I drink a cup of coffee, and I go take a shower. Having this morning routine helps you to just know, I need to get up in the morning and I need to do this, this, and this, which will get you out of bed and eventually get your dopamine levels going and work on getting that cortisol down so you feel better. The fourth thing I would like to mention is just knowing that this is a scientific thing, that your cortisol levels are a little up and they're going to go back down, can help you to have a happier morning. So for me, when I wake up feeling low or depressed, a lot of times I'll simply tell myself, hey, I'm having morning depression, but I know it's going to start to get better in an hour or two because I know the science behind it, and that in and of itself helps me to have a happier morning. I also have to-do lists that I write, so when I get up in the morning, I can start checking things off and just getting that sense of accomplishment and, the dopamine flowing helps me to feel better. Now, I have one other thing I want to mention. So if you have been doing all of these things, you're sleeping consistently, you're taking your meds, and you're still waking up morning after morning feeling depressed, I have a sleep hack. I posted this video a while back, but it's based on scientific research. I didn't just make it up, and I've seen it in more than one study. But there's evidence that manipulating your sleep can kick you out of a depression and reset your circadian rhythm. So I'm going to link to that in the description and also in this video if you want to check that out. If you have bipolar disorder, I highly recommend you talk to your doctor before you just start playing around with your sleep, though, because sleep deprivation can trigger a manic episode as well. But I have used this trick to get myself out of a depression, and it's worked for me, so I wanted to share that with you. So these are my tips for feeling happier in the morning and, my explanation of why we feel depressed so often in the morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everyone who's subscribed and is supporting me. I'm really working hard to post content a little more consistently and hopefully a little better content. I'm still a beginner at this, but I appreciate all of your support and thank you so much. I will see you again soon.